Hello world, welcome, it's Lou Ann Pike, just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Woman. I did my makeup earlier on a fun live. If you want to go watch, you can see what I did. It's a lot of fun. I am mesmerized by this lipstick. Look at this. Cocoa lip liner in the corners. Cherry pie lip color. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, so today, I did my makeup and it was done, so I left it on for fun. Because, come on, it's October. It's October, the only time I get to have this fun. I get to dress up. So I am leaving my makeup on from my live earlier, and I'm cooking in the kitchen because, you know, Spider-Woman can cook. So I am making this today, chocolate fudge cake, this recipe. I've never made this recipe before, but let me read you what the person who made this recipe or you know, contributed this recipe to this website. Let me read what they wrote about it. It says, so this isn't classic chocolate mud cake. I don't know what chocolate mud cake is. I know what Mississippi mud cake is. It has marshmallow. I don't know what chocolate mud cake is, but I want to go find out now. But this says this isn't a classic chocolate mud cake because it has a little bit of lift in it, but it is still way fudgier and mud-like than 99% of other chocolate cakes. Sound really good, huh? So I'm going to make some, what is fudgier than 99% of other chocolate cakes? Let's try it and see. So I am going to begin. So let me turn around my phone here. I'm still Spider-Woman, you just can't tell. Okay, and that's my cabinet. That's fun, huh? All right, so let me get my phone ready so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to have to move at one point here, so I'm trying to keep this thing mobile. Okay, let me plug it in. Okay, there we go. All right, so there is our mixing bowl. So we are going to start what it says, to mix the flour and sugar in a large bowl. Okay, so that starts off different right away, mixing the flour and the sugar. It calls for 2 cups of all-purpose flour, so let me get that. 2 cups of flour. I'm going to put in this bowl. I like to use King Arthur flour, is usually what I use. But you can use any kind of flour, it doesn't matter. As long as it's all-purpose flour. Okay, 2 cups. This is actually a 2-cup measuring cup. I love this thing. This is the Pioneer Woman stuff. You can get it at Walmart. And it comes as a whole set. And she has a 2-cup measuring cup, a 1.5 cup measuring cup, a 3/4 of a cup measuring cup. I love it. Okay, so there's our 2 cups of flour. And then you're also going to add 3 cups of sugar. All right, so let's get our sugar. So let's start with, well, let's get the 1.5 cup measure, because then that'll end up being 3 cups when I do it twice. Save a little time. All right, so there's a 1.5 cups of sugar. It's just about exactly how much is in this container. Let me flatten it out here. Yeah, it really is. It's like the exact amount that's in here. See, look at there. I'm just, you know, evening it out. Okay, so there is a total of 3 cups of sugar. Luckily, I have plenty more sugar. I'll refill that later. Okay, so then it says mix those in the bowl. So I'm going to lift that up and mix. Okay, there's our flour and sugar. Then we are going to put in 2 sticks of butter. I just found out why this is real fudgy. It's got 2 sticks of butter, not 1. 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup of water, and 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Then you're going to take those 3 ingredients, the butter, the water, and the cocoa, and you're going to heat it over medium heat and bring it to a boil. So that is why I am now going to move this over here. I've already got 2 sticks of butter melting. I've preheated this water as well, so it's not going to take very long. So I'm putting that in there also. I'm going to turn this up. It says over medium heat, so we'll start with that. And I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of cocoa. So here we go. 1. 2. 3. 4, survived. I don't normally make cakes with butter. I usually use oil because it makes them moister. But this is real interesting because it says it's fudgy. It uses an awful lot of butter. And it says, which is, I know it's not going to be real diet friendly, but you just eat a little piece. Eat a little piece and find some people to share it with. That's what I'm doing. And then it's doing this cooking method here, which is a little unusual. You don't usually do this with a standard cake. So with this recipe being a little different like this, I really wanted to try it out. So I'm stirring. Oh, you know, this smells like cocoa. You know, like hot cocoa? You like hot cocoa? Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's a little hot here for that right now, though. It's like still 90 degrees. Feels like 190 degrees. But when it gets cold weather, I love to drink hot chocolate, especially like deep, dark hot chocolate. I like to drink the kind that Ghirardelli makes. Like, you know, the mix. Get the Ghirardelli mix. Only put more in than it says, because then it'll be like dark chocolate. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so we see our cocoa is dissolved, and it says bring it to a boil. And we're almost there. It's starting to steam. We bring it to a boil. You're going to pour it over the flour and the sugar, and then you're going to mix it in together. I'm actually turning this up hotter, but you've got to stir it if you're going to do that, so it doesn't stick, because I feel it sticking right there. But you know, cocoa, pudding, stuff like that, it'll stick on a stovetop. But I'm sure you don't want to watch something boil. I almost didn't watch something boil. Okay, it is starting to stick more, so I'm turning it back down. You don't want to burn it. I don't know if it does it tell you to stir it constantly. It doesn't say, but trust me, stir it. Stir it while you're doing this. Stir it constantly. Or it will stick, because I can feel little places where it's starting to stick, but because I'm stirring it, it'll be fine. Oh, look, this looks like fudge already. And that was a lump of cocoa, so hopefully that's going to cook out. Well, when it boils, it probably will. And I just lost it too. Where did you go, lump of cocoa? It's gone. It's probably dissolved. If not, it'll mix in the mix. This is gonna be sick. Look at that. Ooh, liquid chocolate. But you know what? You don't want to drink that because there's not a lick of sugar in there. And if you drink that, they're going to be bitter. Do you know that they originally, when they discovered chocolate, I think they discovered chocolate like in Montezuma's time, in Mexico, and the Aztec, and times, and what's the other people that lived there? But they used to drink it without sugar, because that's where cocoa beans grew. They drank cocoa without sugar. And they said it was like, you know, the drink of the gods. Oh, not without the sugar, it's not. Okay, it is spoiling. They thought it was, I guess. So I'm going to remove it from the heat real quick, because I'm going to quit stirring, and I don't want it to stick, because I'm going to go get my, phone ready here again. Ooh, I think I just saw a lump. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm putting that other pan over there, because I'm going to do something else in a minute. So let me move you back over here. Here we go. Oops. There we are. Back to our pan. And then we're going to pour in this hot mixture and mix. Oh, look at that. Oh. So I think if there's any lumps in here, it's going to beat out, you know, when you're beating it, it'll be fine. All right, there we go. Let's see how that, oh, does that look chocolate? Oh my word, does that look good? Smells so good. Woo. All right, let's turn that, oh, look at that oozing. Doesn't that look good? Well, let's taste it, because it's got sugar in it now. Oh, yeah. That tastes like chocolate candy. It really does. Oh, boy. All right, so all we're going to add is eggs, buttermilk, baking soda, and vanilla. So I'm going to add the vanilla first. Doesn't tell you what order, because I don't want to put the eggs in here with it this hot. So let's add a teaspoon of vanilla. Let's let it cool just for a few more seconds. Teaspoon of vanilla. Then I'm going to add the buttermilk. My buttermilk is cold, so it will take the heat off of that a little bit. So you're going to add half a cup of buttermilk and a teaspoon of baking soda. Now that buttermilk will activate the baking soda and make it rise. So that must be why they have you do it. Hi, how you doing? That must be why they have you do it, the baking soda at the end, because you're putting it in with the buttermilk. So I'm going to measure my buttermilk. I have a stack of pumpkin right there. And the reason that I do is because I've got several things. I'm going to make pumpkin pie, pumpkin cake. And one of the grocery stores was completely... And so when I found some, I got a lot. Looks good. Thank you. So, you know, I don't want to run out of pumpkin because I'm going to make cake. I'm going to make actually 2 pumpkin cakes Thursday night for Friday. And then I still like to make pumpkin pie. I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking the risk. The stores will be out again because they were completely out at my one grocery store. I had to go to another one and just hope I found it. And I did, but they were a little low. So if you like to bake pumpkin stuff, I recommend you go get it now because I don't know. We're having a shortage on pumpkin. I don't know. Okay, so there I have measured my buttermilk. See how I do it up high so I don't have to break my neck? Seeing if it's level? That was my own invention. Put it up on something, and then you don't have to bend all the way over to see if it's half a cup. Okay, so we're going to go back here. I'm going to sprinkle. Doesn't tell you to do this, but this way I'm going to do it. I'm going to sprinkle a teaspoon of baking soda. It's interesting, this doesn't ask for salt. Usually they ask for salt, but it doesn't, so I'm going to go with the recipe. Then I'm going to turn it on and pour in the buttermilk. So that will not be quite so hot now because it was boiling. It's a little liquidy now. Oh, that looks so good. I keep trying different chocolate cake recipes. I have several good chocolate cake recipes that are really moist and they're really good, but when I find a new one, I'm like, ooh, what if that one's better? Ooh, maybe that one's better. I have to keep trying. All right, let me see how hot that is. I'll have to test it and then lick it. Okay, it's not that hot. Good. I don't want to scramble my eggs. So I'm good. 2 eggs. So I'm going to put 1 egg in. Get a napkin here, somewhere to put my eggshells. There we go. I'm gonna turn it on, drop in the egg. There's 1 egg. Just using my buttermilk cup. Then we're gonna do the other egg. Egg number 2. There we are. Then that's it. Oh, look at that. I'm telling you, this smells so good. So chocolatey. Okay, so now let me get my pan. It says a 9 by 13 pan. Trying to get that over here because I got everything in the way. And this recipe comes with its own icing too. So let's flip this around. Oh, let's just do it this way. I'm trying to make this where this will work. Here we go. Don't turn off the phone. That won't work. I'm going to spray it. Now, I don't usually remove it from a pan like this. If I'm making a cake, I just leave it in there and we eat it out of the pan. You know, serve it out of the pan. We don't get a fork and eat out of the pan. But we serve it out of the pan, so I just usually use non-cooking spray if I'm not actually going to remove it from the pan. If I'm going to remove it from a pan, I use non-cooking spray and parchment paper so you can get it out. Okay, so then we'll take our batter, which is not on camera. There we go. Take our pan. We're going to get our beater out of here, and oh, does that look good? Oh yeah, that's good. I've got my oven on. 350 is preheated. Oh my goodness, is that good? I hope the cake is going to be as good as this batter. Always licked batter when I was a kid. I think most kids did. And we lived too. Okay, so here we go. Gonna take this. Oh, look at that. Ooh, it's real runny batter because usually if you use hot water and melted butter, it's going to be real runny. So I'm going to scrape it all out. Ooh, and then I'm going to stick my face in this pan. No, not really. This really does smell and look like fudge. Okay, so then you're going to bake this at 350 for 30 minutes, it says, right? Yep, 30 minutes. Then we have an icing to make. And it's like a hot icing too. And you get to, this is my favorite part about it, you get to pour this icing on the hot cake. You don't even have to wait for it to cool. Okay, there we go. Everything out. Move it out of the way. Now you don't even have to smooth this batter because it's so liquid, it's flat. You see, it's got 8,000 little bubbles on it. So to get the bubbles out of your batter, because that can make little holes in your cake, take your pan, don't be too rough, and smack it on the counter. Woo! And drop your phone. I dropped my phone in the batter. Rotate your device. Okay, I'm gonna. It vibrated right off of my stand. Still there. Hold on, that's my hand. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna tip it up so it's not so angly. I'm smacking it on the counter. That causes the bubbles to rise to the top and pop. And this one is real bubbly because it's real runny. So just smack it a few times, and then I'm gonna go over here. There's my oven and my vanilla. Woo, I'm making a mess. Hold on. I'm gonna put this in the oven. Ooh, is it warm in there? Oh, so hot here right now. Okay, and then I'm gonna set this for 30 minutes. And then we will come back after it's out of the oven and I will make the icing. Hello, how are you doing? Chocolate fudge cake. Oh yeah, that smells so good. So the icing, well, I'll tell you real quick how we're gonna do the icing. It has a stick of butter. You combine the butter, 4 tablespoons of milk, and 4 tablespoons of cocoa. You bring it to a boil. You remove it from the heat. You add a box of powdered sugar, you know, your standard box. That's 3 3/4 cups, by the way. And you add a teaspoon of vanilla. Then, if you will like pecans, which I don't like nuts at all, but if you like pecans and you want nuts in it, you can add a cup of chopped pecans to the icing. You pour it over the hot cake. And that is what we will do, but I'm going to go for now. Let me show you real quick again. I'm trying to hit wave and it isn't waving. Come on. It will not. It will not. Okay, how about flip? Okay, my video is not working. I don't know what our issue is here. Okay, here, well, I'll do it this way. Can you see me now? Your friendly neighborhood spider woman. Am I in there? I can't tell how good of a angle I have with it. I can't flip the camera. I must have messed it up when I flipped it around backwards. Okay. Go watch me do my makeup on live. It's on my page. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will be back in 30 minutes, and we will make the icing. Bye. It won't let me hit end either. Spider-Woman. Yep. Well, let me see if I can just go back. Oh boy.